sou sempre muito feliz e muito orgulhosa que tenho tantas pessoas como vocês que amam Irlanda e nossa cultura, nossa literatura. Hello and good evening everyone. My name is Fiona Flood. I'm just over 1 year as Irish Ambassador to Brazil. It's an absolute pleasure to be here with such talent, such experience, such knowledge of Ireland and what she has produced in the way of literature and culture over the decades and centuries, in fact. I always say to my colleagues, the other ambassadors in Brasilia, when I'm coming to Irish Studies events, and the first one was with Mariana in Londinopolis in June, where I'm going and what I'm doing, and they always say, Irish Studies in Brazilian universities. They're very jealous. So I suppose, together with Robert and Niamh, our Consul General and Deputy Consul General, it's incumbent on me to say that the Irish government is so proud to support this rich scene of Irish literature and culture here in Brazil. We have an important role, people in this room, we have an important role here in Brazil and in the wider region, because of course this is the South American Symposium. We have such an important role to keep the interest in Irish literature so rich and so abundant in South America. And I can think of no better people than those here on the podium with me this evening and all of you in the room to make that a reality. I have to give a shout out to Catherine because she mentioned not only my home county of Meath, but my hometown, because the Book of Kells is called after the town, my own native town. It's a lovely mention to get 12,000 miles away of Kells. Finally, let me just say that in the year ahead of COP30, when the Irish government, together with the other 197 governments in the world, will all be making our way to Belém for what I think will be the most consequential conference of the parties since the Paris Agreement. I think the interplay here today between literature, poetry, our love of the earth and the planet that has engendered us, the Skellig imagery, the poetry and the musicality of the connections between the earth and ourselves as human beings, but also that sense of interbeing that the Buddhists talk about, that idea that we are not separate from the non-human life on this planet. And it's something that Mary Robinson, our former president, speaks very eloquently about, which is the connection between Indigenous peoples, how close they are to the earth, to I suppose its messages, also in a magical realist sense, that we could all, in the more mundane world of maybe diplomacy, certainly, maybe academia too, we could all take lessons from. Thank you all very much. Be sure that the Irish government will continue to very much to support financially and through our presence with you to support these wonderful endeavours. Thank you.
Autorizado a falar em português. Anyway, good evening everyone, and boa noite a todos. Eu sou Sérgio Prensa, presidente da Agência USP de Cooperação Internacional e Nacional. Eu tenho muito prazer de sempre aceitar, sempre que posso, os convites da professora Laura, porque é sempre uma oportunidade muito grande para mim aprender, ter um pouco mais de contato com cultura, arte e eu sou engenheiro, sou de uma área de ciências um pouco mais duras, mas, por outro lado, gosto muito de sempre ter contato com ciências humanas e, enfim, é sempre um prazer particularmente participar dessas cerimônias que são organizadas pela professora Laura. Eu gostaria de, em primeiro lugar, cumprimentar a professora Laura, os organizadores desse evento. Eu acho que é realmente algo que acontece em um excelente momento e até um ponto necessário em função do tema, da temática que ele envolve. Liderar aí os estudos irlandeses, as discussões que estão sobre a prática e a responsabilidade social para toda essa temática, considerando ética e arte, é sempre algo muito importante. Não atender particularmente a ética é algo que é muito bom vê-la sendo revista, pelo menos, ou rediscutida. Está fazendo muito falta hoje em dia na nossa sociedade, né? Então, a arte também é muito importante. E aí eu vou fazer um comentário um pouco fora, um pouco mais próximo da minha área, tentar fazer alguma ligação. Então, vocês já ouviram falar em engenharia, tem obras de arte também, né? Várias obras de arte. Uma ponte é uma obra de arte, um edifício é uma obra de arte. E por que se chama obra de arte? Esse é algo feito em engenharia, no âmbito de ciências mais matemáticas, físicas, etc. Simplesmente ela tem como os artistas algo que nunca foi feito antes. Por isso se chama uma obra de arte. E os pintores, Van Gogh, por exemplo, pintou de uma maneira que nunca ninguém tinha pintado antes. E assim, em várias, na literatura, alguém escreveu algo de uma maneira que ninguém escreveu antes. Então, são obras de arte, nesse sentido mais amplo, né? Eu estou mais habituado com as obras de arte do meu lado, mas por outro lado fico fascinado com as obras de arte, digamos, de uma natureza mais inspiradora de base. Eu gostaria, portanto, de cumprimentar a todos pela organização desse evento, pela realização. Desejo a todos um ótimo evento e não só aproveitem os curtas no evento, que é ainda mais importante. So I'm sorry for the audience that don't understand my Portuguese. I was trying to just explain very simple things about my role as engineer and the links that we can do with humanity science. And I would like to say also that our world is now facing big problems, complex problems, in terms of environmental sustainability, economic inequality, public health, public education. They are so complex problems that I'm pretty sure that it's important to combine different areas of knowledge to face and find good solutions for that. That's what I mean by connections between humanities and in this broad sense. And our main goals by doing that is basically enable people to live as a prosperous economic life, developing the arts, and making society more attractive, enjoyable for everyone. So that's the final goal of our job. So thank you very much. Enjoy this meeting.
It is an honor to be here on behalf of the Brazilian Association of Irish Studies to the opening activities for the 19th Symposium of Irish Studies in South America, Narratives of Responsibility, Irish Studies, Humanities and the Arts, organized together with the University of São Paulo and taking place this evening at the St. Universidade Auditorium, which has a very important, a historical importance for humanities as a whole. It is a site of resistance, so it's really significant that we are gathered here today. This year's symposium is very important because it promotes, as all symposiums, connections with fellow Irish Studies chairs and associations, namely the Society for Irish Latin American Studies, SILAS, the Asociación Española de Estudios Irlandeses, IDE, the International Association for the Study of Irish Literatures, IASIL, the W.B. Yeats Chair of Irish Studies at the University of São Paulo, the Cátedra Extraordinaria de Estudios Irlandeses Evan Boland and Enright from Mexico, and the Cátedra Libre Extracurricular de Estudios Irlandeses y de la Diáspora Irlandesa from Macampa. The Brazilian Association of Irish Studies is key in the spreading of Irish studies in undergraduate and postgraduate levels, as well as beyond the university walls. ABE supports mobility programs such as the prestigious ABE Haddad Fellowship and the exchange between visiting professors from Brazil and abroad. The outcome of these connections have been published in the ABE Journal for more than 20 years. We believe that by supporting Irish studies, we promote discussions about our own distinct cultures in dialogue with it. Thus, Irish studies is an educational experience, a process of intercultural understanding and development. Thanks to the Irish Embassy and to the Consulate, for since 2018, ABE has been recipient of the Immigrant Support Program, the ESP grant, which endows the association with financial autonomy, conferring it national and international visibility. In this conference, Professor Ana Carolina Carvalho Mônaco da Silva from Fluminense Federal University has been awarded this year's postgraduate symposium grant. My most heartfelt thanks to all who have embarked with us in this journey, because of course organizing a conference is hard work, especially at the backstage. Especially Professor Laurizana and Professor Victor Augusto Pacheco, who are the main organizers in São Paulo, along with the local committee, as well as the ABE team, the guest and invited professors from Brazil and abroad, as well as to artists, delegates, writers, playwrights, movie makers, and everybody. I won't mention names because there's so many friends and colleagues here that definitely I will forget somebody's name, but please feel all welcome. And I hope you enjoy the next few days of rich academic debate, keeping in mind that responsibility is an inescapable condition in an age of constant changes. Thank you.
He affirms that, and I quote, certain masterpieces float free of their enabling conditions to make their home in the world. So Irish writers have been part of the syllabus of English literature in the educational system worldwide. And it was the Irish Renaissance, led by William Butler Yeats, and the legacy of responsibility, specifically for our main theme of the conference. So this legacy of responsibility left by his generation, together with the history of Irish immigration to their lands, that awoke the interest of South Americans. If artworks have always been notable for their engagement with society and for the prophetic reading of the forces at work in their time, as Daniel Piper affirms, people from these South American countries read Irish authors because they share a similar past of colonial experience as they live the painful process of emerging nation states. And I think that this, Luciana also presented it with this effort in translating the book by General Meyer Ignaya. So I think that this is part of it. I would like to ask very quickly a brief summary, but just to bring you the idea of how Irish studies spread in less than 3 minutes. I know that you are all tired, so here seeing it is much better. You will see this. Thank you. You will see this chart that shows you how everything started in 19. Of course, the graduate program at our course in English in 1971 that we had already research studies in Irish studies in 1980. But then since then, we have this, effort in constructing a bridge between Ireland and Brazil in a double way, not only in one way. Of course, that we have first of all to bring to us the knowledge, this input from Ireland, but then this effort from the very beginning of our appellate journal that we have this idea of bringing Brazilian culture to Ireland too. The idea of the Association of Irish Studies started in 1989, and that's why we are 35 years old already. And then the Chair of Irish Studies that was founded in 2009 together are building up this bridge between the two countries, and how through the association, as Mariana has already mentioned, how we became in strong links with other associations in Spain, the Association in Spain, and so on, and we want to repeat that, but then how we spread to other Latin American countries with the Symposium on Irish Studies in South America, and next year will be in Mexico. So I don't want to rebaptize our symposium, but nevertheless, we will have all these, all the chairs are joining specifically next year, because it's the 5th year of the strategy for Latin America and the Caribbean by the government of Ireland, and we want to celebrate that all together. So we went to Chile, to Peru, and then next year to Mexico. SILAS Association, that is the Society of Irish Latin American Studies, also came together, and it was founded in 2003. So these are the visits, the official visits that we received in Sao Paulo, even before having an embassy in yes, and even before having an embassy, we received in 1995 Mary Robinson, then teacher of Ireland, Prime Minister Bertie Ahern in 2001, then Dr. Benny Louise in 2005. makes us more visible in the way that we were working together and strengthening our links. This is Brazil in green because it's Brazil also, but also how Irish studies have spread in Brazil. We have an exhibition that is full exhibition that we have support. It was curated by Mariana, Camila, and myself, with Felipe Cortes, who was the designer of the exhibition. And those places that are orange and green are the places where Bloomsday is celebrated. So as you have seen, we have spread all around, and the interesting thing is that we have received 200 professors from Brazil since we started, 10 official visits, the one that I mentioned to you, 5 international and national projects that we have developed, and that's helped us to strengthen the links, and 206 events. You see, I know that universities like numbers very much, so that's why I'm doing it. But also I know that it is interesting for our partners, for the embassy and the consulate, to know things more clearly. And the most important thing, we couldn't have done anything if we didn't have these projects. I think that everything starts with national and international projects. Irish studies started with literature, bringing literature to Brazil, but then we had a project, a national project that is from Ireland to Brazil, critical texts, and then we followed with another project on immigrants, Irish immigrants in Brazil, and then we have the discovery of Roger Casement, we could say, and how Roger Casement and all his deeds here in Brazil were so much important, not only for Ireland, tourism, but mainly for Brazil too, in relation to Amazon and the rubber boom at that time. Immigrants, we also have a cultural trauma, an international project funded by Marie Curie Foundation. And we have 9 universities working in this project. We were Yale University, USP, in India, Jawaharlal Nehru University and Tokyo University, and peripheral ones. And we are very proud because we worked in Yale University as peripheral in this project by Marie Curie Foundation, and then 5 other European universities working together. So there were more than 27 professors coming to Brazil, staying with us at USP for 3 to 6 months, working together, and then we sent 15 professors and postgraduate students to the different universities to fulfill their projects. So I think that thanks to these projects, and the last one is the crisis of democracies, transatlantic crisis of democracies, cultural, I forgot, cultural trauma also, the Civil War, and all the things that happened in those projects. Without these projects, things would not develop so much. So I think that these projects have funding from FAPESP, from the government of Ireland, from Marie Curie Foundation. So we have many fundings together. It's not only one, it's a symposium. And these are the numbers at USP and also Maya Bay, the way we work together, always very linked one to the other. Thesis and dissertations, we have 49 in criticism, 42 in fiction, 30 in theater, poetry, cinema, and history. And then what is interesting are the scholarships. Also, these are for students and for our own colleagues. That's to say, Abbey Adult Foundation has given scholarships to Abbey, and also they have a special foundation giving scholarships for Brazilian students to Ireland. So Brazilian students cover the whole of Brazil, not only mostly we have some students of ours who also have were recipients of these scholarships. So, and then the chair of Irish Studies has also been in scholarships. Every year we have one scholarship supported by ESP as ABE as also is support. And this is part I won't show you so much, but these are just some of the panels that you will see at our panel that we are exhibiting this exhibition. And these are some pictures where Michael D. Higgins came in 2012, and the renewal of this agreement with the government of Ireland. And I think that this is important, and we are very much thankful for that. These are parts of the exhibitions, films, theatre that we have done. Also, here is Maurice Fitzpatrick, where this is where your film documentary was also exhibited. And then we have Roger Casement being our star, I would say, because this moved a lot of research, many exhibitions, not only in Brazil, in different states, and we have many of our colleagues coming from Tocantins, San Pedro de Bahia, Paraná, Mato Grosso are all here participating. They took this exhibition there, but we also took the exhibition to Spain, to Ireland, to Argentina, and thanks to Mariela here, who moved all her colleagues there in different places, and they moved with Michael D. Higgins again over this exhibition. Now here is the film by Aurelio Gilles, who with Stephen Gray as being the writer, and Roger Casement's all over the voice here. And then all parts of the publication, sorry, they are not all there, but just for you to see also that the chair, together with ABE, has done some of the ABE journal. The ABE journal is every 6 months there is a publication, hard work with that. And then of course we have cinema, poetry, interviews with John Marville, with Tool, and then we really have the next one we have. Okay, and this is one of the projects that we mentioned with all the numbers of mobility that we had. And this was a project that we couldn't fulfill completely because it was too expensive, no money for that. But we started and we had a lot with museums, the Science Gallery, and we have three moments of exhibition, but we couldn't go further because it's a bit difficult. This office that you learned from here. And this is the CH about the transatlantic crisis of democracy, and this book is open access in the internet, and it is the result of all the participants in this project coming from different countries, Hungary and so on, and all of them analyzing the issue from a cultural perspective, also political perspective. They are interdisciplinary projects. So that's why we have chosen that title for the ABE this year. And this is the Polytechnic. The Polytechnic has a program also of exchange with Trinity College Dublin. And every time they come, we try to be together despite each one is doing their own research, but in a way I hope we can do something about digital humanities. And for that, we need science to help us. And this is the end, just for you to see the different schools. And here is our colleague Pablo Moroy. You see, SIT is there, the School of Agriculture. So we hope we can renew these links with that faculty, and the Faculty of Philosophy, our faculty, and then the school also. This is a school at Whiskey. Okay, so that's it. It's a very quick view, but just for you to see that together with Abe and the chair, and now we have founded the Alliance of Chairs of Irish Studies in Latin America. And Rita, the exhibition that you have here, has won the professorship, first professorship of this strategy of Irish studies in Latin America and the Caribbean. And so I invite all of you to see the exhibition, and then I will pass to the ambassador